Hey guys, welcome back to our pregnancy vlog series from Team Yancey. If this is your first time tuning in, my name is Keisha and we are at week 30. Between 28 weeks and 30 weeks, not too much has changed. But I can, now that I'm in my third trimester, feel myself moving into the third trimester woes and aches and pains and stuff. Second trimester was like a period of bliss. So slowly but surely I'm starting to feel those little things. One thing that I noticed earlier in the 2 weeks was my feet were starting to swell. For those of you that already have seen the other previous episode where I talked about me starting a new job, this job sometimes goes through extremes. Like some days we're literally sitting down all day long, which is not good for you, and that can be very achy. And other times you're on your feet all day long, which cannot be good, which is also not good, and it can be very, you know, strenuous and achy on your body too. So neither extreme is good for you. But yes, I would come home and just see my feet and just see my ankles just completely swollen. And that's something that is definitely normal and noticeable that I had in my last pregnancy too, but it has started already. So it's not an everyday thing or once a week thing. It's just kind of random when it pops up. I know some people who have gotten it way earlier in their pregnancy as far as your feet swelling, which can happen, like I said, from either extreme, from either being on your feet too long or sitting down too long. One of the best things that they recommend is just kind of propping up your feet by the time you get home, if you can do that, and just kind of resting as much as you can. And also believe drinking water too is helpful for that. But that's something that you will start to notice, and that I noticed in now that I'm in the third trimester. So along with some of those aches and pains, like I said, that you'll feel and notice during your third trimester, which I noticed, I believe it was earlier last week, were Braxton Hicks contractions. I did not expect them to come this early or remember them coming this early with Logan, but I could have possibly had them before, and maybe because of my first pregnancy I just didn't notice what it was. So that's a possibility too. But last week I had a day at work where I can't remember, I mean, it was a little bit of both as far as like standing up some of the day, sitting down some of the day, but just a lot of movement. And I was having I would say extreme, but just really noticeable Braxton Hicks contractions. Some other things that can draw that on too, kind of like the swollen feet, are being dehydrated. I don't really remember being dehydrated, but I could have possibly been. And just like I said, either extreme, so walking too much, sitting down too much, all of that can bring it on. But if you've never had them before, don't know what they are, Braxton Hicks contractions are they're just like pre-contraction or false contraction, sometimes they're called, and it's just a really tightening of your belly, or sometimes it'll also kind of feel like too, if you can imagine like the baby like rolling up into a ball and then just feeling really tight. So that's kind of what it feels like. But it can come over and over again within a period of time. So like I said, that day I had them ongoing for most of the day, so I was kind of getting nervous, and I was like, I hope this isn't the real thing. And I did have an appointment, my doctor's appointment last week, and I mentioned it to my doctor, and she did say that I believe she said that as long as they don't come more than 4 times within an hour, you're good. So I don't remember them coming that often, and obviously I'm still here and I'm still pregnant. So it was, just the Braxton Hicks and not the real things. But that's kind of what it feels like. When you get them frequently, it can kind of be annoying, and it can even kind of, I don't want to say hurt, but just be very uncomfortable, and an uncomfortable feeling. So just like I said, imagine a really tight cramping of your belly, and that's what that feels like. So if you have gotten them, or thinking that you're getting to the stage where you may get them, just kind of monitor it if you haven't had them before, if you're noticing them, just so that you make sure that you're not coming super frequent, so that you're not going into real labor. But yes, like I said, that day I was almost getting a little bit nervous because I had them for almost the whole entire day I was at work. But thank goodness it was a false alarm. So we're all still good. And yes, that was something else now that we're in the 3rd trimester that I've noticed too. With all of these 3rd trimester aches and pains and body woes and all that stuff that I've felt, one thing that has been a complete relief to me, especially at nighttime when I'm sleeping, thanks to my husband. He actually got it for me my last pregnancy, and I think I maybe got to use it for like 2 weeks, if even that, before I had Logan. But I broke it out of our closet maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago, and it's a big body pillow. So we'll put a picture in, and it's the one that I have is called a Snoogie, I believe, S-N-O-O-G-I-E, I think. But there's so many different kinds, so many different brands that you can get, and it's basically kind of shaped like a big C, like a huge C, so that way you can curl up with it if you're laying down in the bed, with part of it like on your shoulder, and like to kind of elevate your head, and the other part in between your legs, which is helpful too, and also helps for me sleeping on my side. So if you're not a side sleeper like me, it helps to almost force me to sleep on my side, just because you're kind of curled up with the pillow all night long. So that has been a blessing and a gift from God and gift from my husband, so I'm so appreciative of that now in this pregnancy, that I can use it for a longer period of time, and kind of just really get to appreciate it. So that has helped tremendously, like I said, when it comes to just either relaxing at the end of the night if I'm just laying down, or even during sleep too. So if you don't have it, I would definitely recommend, as you get closer to your 3rd trimester, or just even if towards the beginning, if you're having trouble sleeping on your side, then try one of those body pillows, just to, like I said, kind of hold on to. You can use it to put under your belly or just put right in front of it, but I absolutely love it. For whatever reason, when we do these vlogs, I feel like my OBGYN appointments are always right after, and I'm always saying like, oh, you know, X, Y, and Z, and I'll talk to my doctor about it next week or tomorrow or whatever. But this time I actually just had an appointment 2 days ago, and so like I said, 30 weeks we're in right now, and now we're at the stage where I go every 2 weeks to the doctor. So when you first get pregnant, you're going to be going through going to the doctor pretty much every month, so it seems like, so far, until your next appointment. Now it's every 2 weeks, so it's like, goodness gracious. So every 2 weeks, and then even later in the pregnancy, it's every week, but that's later. So every 2 weeks now I'm seeing her, and so the last visit, which was a little bit late just due to my scheduling as far as not being able to go before to coordinate with my work schedule, but I did my glucose test. So the glucose test, or glucose screening, which you may hear it called, is basically a test to see if you have prediabetes, or if the baby, I should say, has prediabetes, and if there's just if you have like elevated sugar levels. So with Logan, I remember having that test, and I guess it just caught me off guard. And most people, if you've never tasted the solution, I should say, or the liquid that they make you drink, it's disgusting. They make you drink, I want to say it's maybe like a 12-ounce bottle. Kind of tastes like soda and like the fizzy scents, but just the flavor and taste of it is really, really weird and disgusting. And they make you drink it you have to drink it all within 5 minutes, and then you have to wait an hour. So if you're doing it at your doctor's office, or if they make you go to like a LabCorp or like a Quest diagnostic kind of place or whatever, be prepared to fast the night before. Be prepared to have an hour, maybe an hour and a half set aside in the morning, unplanned, so that way you can, after you drink the drink, stay there for an hour, and then they do your blood work. This time I had an option of like flavor, so I was like, they're getting fancy. They had given me a choice of like orange and fruit punch, but like I said, it's not the best tasting thing in the world. But if you just think about the fact that you kind of have to just drink it and hurry up and get it over with, it's mind over matter. So it went pretty fast, and I did it within the same day and time as my regular doctor's appointment. So thankfully with my OB, they are now connected to like a LabCorp, so they do a lot of the stuff that would be external within the office. So very convenient. I did it the same day as my regular checkup, and had to wait the hour, had my appointment, and then they drew my blood, and I was good to go. Haven't gotten the results back yet, just did it 2 days ago, but I'm hoping that everything is good and okay. I know when I did it with Logan, everything was good, but you know, pre-diabetes is something that they want to test for, just to, like I said, kind of monitor and see where you are, where the baby is with the sugar levels, and just get you on the right path. So I will let you guys know if it ends up being anything else other than positive or other than good, but hopefully everything is all good with that. Also in that appointment, I did ask my doctor if I would be having any other ultrasounds, because I can't remember. For my first pregnancy with Logan, if you get, I guess, multiple ultrasounds. The biggest one that you get is at 20 weeks, and that's when you're, if you haven't already noticed the gender, known the gender, you kind of find out then. They do all of the measurements of the baby. It's a really long ultrasound process, but it's good because you get to see the baby be in your belly and be active and stuff. So I was hoping that I had another one, but I actually don't. So, but I guess it could be a good or bad thing, because it would be a bad thing if they needed to check for something, but they don't. They said the only way that I would get another ultrasound, or that I would need one, is if, I guess around 38 weeks or towards the very, very end, if they can't tell just by, I guess, feeling, or however they do it normally, if they can't tell if the baby is head down yet. So that's the only other time that I would get a ultrasound. So kind of bummed. I know previously in our last pregnancy we thought about doing like a 3D ultrasound, so those, you know, are available, but we're already this far in, and I'm just kind of anxious just to see our baby girl in person versus on an ultrasound picture. So I'm just gonna be patient and wait it out and see. But 3D ultrasounds are available. I'm sure you can probably ask your doctor if you can get an ultrasound, but they'll probably charge you for that, or if they send you somewhere else, they'll charge you for it. But yeah, so no other ultrasounds at this point, so no other pictures for you guys. And yeah, that was pretty much it for my last appointment. One thing that I always notice is as the appointments get more frequent, the time frame gets a lot shorter. So they're really just checking you, and then you're in and out. So it's a good and bad thing, because it's like, oh, I have to, you know, either come all the way up here or have my appointment and schedule around it for about 10 minutes, for a 10-minute long appointment, if even that. But like I said, everything is all good, and now we're in the every 2-week phase, and that is pretty much where we are with that. That is our week 30 vlog for where we are in the pregnancy process. Thank you guys for joining us. We are doing this every 2 weeks. I've already started to envision in my mind, like, goodness, like, we're gonna have you guys see, I guess, the whole process from, I mean, if we have cameras around, if we have our cameras with us, but from when my water breaks until delivery. So you guys are really going to be in this whole journey with us. But yes, we're going to bring you these videos every 2 weeks. So we'll see you guys in the next one, and thank you for watching. If you haven't done so already, please make sure you subscribe to this channel for not just for our pregnancy videos, but also just for everything else that Team Yancey has in store and has to bring you. Most of our vlogs will launch on Mondays and Thursdays at 6 p.m. And like I said, make sure you subscribe, like, and comment below. Let me know what's going on in your world. If you have any questions, or just sharing some thoughts about your pregnancy or past pregnancy, or just wherever you are in the process. And yeah, we'll see you guys next time. So thanks for watching.